Today we're going to be talking about this, one of the best raw scores I've had in a very long time. Yes, all four of these figures for 16 bucks. Let's talk about it. Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Kenobi's Bunker. Thank you for joining me here on another video. As you know, if you watch the channel, we do a lot of toy hunting. This season, Ross has already been gearing up for the holidays. They've revamped their toy section pretty much across the country, and we've been finding some pretty good deals. And today, we're going to talk about one of the best ones we've ever had for Star Wars. But before we get started, I just want to remind you to check out the channel where we do a lot of toy hunting, a lot of toy reviews. We cover new trailers. We go live every week, talk about Star Wars, of course. So if you think that would interest you, please go ahead and check out General Kenobi's Bunker. Thank you so much. Let's just jump right into it. We're going to be talking about this 4-pack, used to be Amazon exclusive, Bad Batch from the Vintage Collection. Now, this was released back in 2021, again, as an Amazon exclusive. And back then, it retailed for about 63 bucks, I believe. But we just found this at Ross for a much nicer price tag of $16. That's just crazy. Taking a quick look at the packaging, nothing too special. We do have the window which shows all four figures. We do have this sort of like tri-logo, yet it's four different languages, going on. Yes, so my copy here does have, a hit on the box. But again, for that price of 16 bucks, I was not gonna let that go. Just for comparison, a single Vintage Collection figure currently goes for $17. So we basically got a 4-pack for the price of a single figure currently. Again, this is an exclusive, or used to be an exclusive set of figures. So looking at the back of the packaging, we do have a scene with the Havoc Marauder, basically at a clone, facility. Not much going on really. Again, not much on the side. And on the top, we do have some of the other figures in the previous wave, and of course the 4-pack here shown. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that each figure is individually carded. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here they are out of the main box. So again, all four figures do come individually carded, which I absolutely love. Now, let's jump into the first one here. And this pack is a little bit weird, first of all. So this is Clone Captain Rex. Yes, it's in pretty rough shape, the card. Since this is where the box was hit, you can see where it was smooshed there. On punch, which I absolutely love because that's kind of how they all should be. Especially when they never made it, into physical stores. Well, until now, of course, with Ross. But, so this figure is a little bit weird because it is based on a concept look for the character in the Bad Batch. So if you notice, his helmet does have a visor, and which never was featured in the show. Also, I don't know if the camera is picking it up very well, but his hair is not quite right. It's actually longer. I guess he is kind of blonde, but he's got long hair, and that visor, again, we never really saw it in the show, which leads me to believe that this figure is actually based on some concept art that Hasbro probably got, before the show even aired. So remember, these are from 2021. Nothing wrong with the card design. We do have the Bad Batch pill right there, and if we flip it to the back, we got the 4-pack and the previous wave. So this comes in at VC 208. Overall, not too bad. I do love that it has soft goods, which should always be the case. Next one, and remember, I told you this one was a weird set. So we have Clone Captain Ballast. However, what we actually have here is Captain Hauser. So again, a little bit of a sign that these figures were based off of concept art, provided to Hasbro. So Clone Captain Ballast never really came out with that name. His design, as you can see, is Clone Captain Hauser, who is the one that was helping the garrison on Ryloth, with Hera's parents, with Champs and Dula. So same thing on the back. This comes in at VC 210. This card in particular was not too damaged. It does have a bent right there. Once again, unpunched. The Bad Batch pill right there. And I really like the art on this card. Very, very nice. Good figure overall. Remember, these guys are all the clone bodies from that clone phase 1 back in like VC 45. Somebody correct me down in the comments. One thing I do like about this clone is that he does have his signature haircut, sort of a buzz cut, which differentiates him from the other ones. Overall, good colors, good mold. It does have, nice scuffs and everything around his armor. So yeah, nothing bad about this figure in general. Just like I said, this is Captain Hauser from the show, not Captain Ballast. Next, we got Clone Captain Gray. And in case you guys don't remember him, he's actually the one that was attached to Master Depa Bilaba and her Padawan, who would later on become Kanan Jarrus. So Caleb Doom at the time, Clone Captain Gray is the one that executed Order 66 on him and his master. So pretty significant clone into the story. Again, this comes from the very first episode of the entire series of Bad Batch. So once again, unpunched. Now this card in general I think did really well. If you notice, it's only got the slightest of bends. The bubble is very clean. So this one made out a lot better than the previous two. This one comes in at VC 209. Same thing on the back. Colors look great on it. Again, same body, which is the clone phase 1. The helmets to me look a little bit bigger than what they should be, but overall good figure. Not much weathering, but the character was like that too. So, not a big problem there. So again, Clone Captain Gray, very prominent in that very first episode of The Bad Batch. And last but not so much least, although this is technically the only not clone in the 4-pack, we got an Elite Squad Trooper, Imperial, right? Very cool looking art, by the way. Reminds me of the Shadow Troopers a lot. So good looking figure, the color is nice. The visor looks great on it. Kind of that, metallic like hue to it. And again, very cool figure. This one comes in at VC 211. Same thing for the waves on the back. This one I think is probably the best card out of all of the 4-pack here. It's very straight. It's again unpunched, which I love. And yeah, almost no damage, I would say. It's pretty good shape. So remember, these guys are sort of the stormtroopers, right? That were being trained by Crosshair. So technically not a clone, but very cool to see in this 4-pack. One thing I wanted to point out is that at the time of the release of this 4-pack, we did not have an unhelmeted Clone Captain Rex. And it was weird because this was the only release for that figure until very recently. So basically 3 years after this figure was put out in this exclusive pack, right? So fans were not pleased about that because you will basically have to get this 4-pack in order to get this Captain Rex, which again is not very accurate. I know I brought up the hair and the helmet situation before, but this was the only offering we had like that for about 3 years until very recently they finally gave us an updated Clone Captain Rex. Much needed. Also, these 4 figures are some of the very few in the whole vintage collection to actually have the Bad Batch association on their card. Again, it's kind of a weird how they mishandled that, I guess, that part of the saga with the vintage collection. But overall, this 4-pack is great, especially again for 16 bucks. Okay, troopers, let me know which figure was your favorite. We got the sort of concept of what Clone Captain Rex was supposed to be with the long hair and the visor, right? Again, I love the soft goods on this one. Is it the incorrectly named Captain Ballast, which again, this is Captain Hauser in the show. Great character in my opinion. Again, we got to see him interact with Hera Syndulla and her family. Good figure overall. Really like the art on this one. Or is it the guy who tried to destroy our good old Kanan Jarrus? Captain Gray. Again, this comes all the way from the very first episode of the Bad Batch. Overall good figure too. Or is it the non-clone? The non-clone sort of prototype to Stormtrooper, right? Which is the elite squad trooper. I absolutely love the art, the way they did it, with the shadows and darker tones on the background. Again, it reminds me a lot of the Shadow Troopers, which you guys know that I am a big fan of. And that is going to do it for this video. Again, please check out the main channel for toy hunting, where we find cool stuff like this. Go out there, check out on your local Ross, because there's plenty of deals to be had, especially this holiday season. I would also greatly appreciate it if you leave us a like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much if you already have. And may the force be with you.